This is a collection of 6 high-score rhythm mini-games that have all released one time or another on Steam and/or Wii. I was excited to play through this one, seeing as how I'm such a big fan of Runner 2, and not a fan at all of playing games on my PC or my Wii. Nothing against those consoles, I just don't have the time to play on every platform at the moment. Each of these games has a simple control scheme and a simple objective. Most of the games are abstractly presented, which I dig. There are short, wordless cinematics that feature the titular commander video and pals in bizarre, almost tribal meetings. Again, that's cool. I like that. It's when I started playing the games that I found myself unpleasantly surprised. The first game, Bit.Trip Beat, is a Pong-type game. You move a paddle up and down to reflect pellets that bombard the left side of the screen in rhythmic sequence. On the PS4, you tilt the DualShock 4 toward and away from you to move the paddle down and up, respectively. It's a bit shaky, but my main complaint with this control scheme is that there is no button to recalibrate what's neutral, so to speak. I was lounging on the couch when I started, which led to the light bar facing up as a neutral state. To swing the paddle down then, I had to practically tilt the controller upside down towards myself. I don't understand why something as simple as a recalibrate button wasn't implemented. The game itself is tough, but decently fun. I wish there was an alternate control scheme, like, say, the analog stick, which would give me a bit more control of the paddle. The next game, Core, is better than Beat, probably because you press buttons to play it. You control a cross in the center of the screen. As pellets stream across the top, left, right, and bottoms of the screen, you hold the given direction and press X to zap them. The game works well, but the musical beat and patterns are sometimes difficult to pick up. Once diagonal moving blips and other varied dots start infiltrating, it gets real tough real fast. Even on easy mode, I had a tough time staying afloat in some of the later sections. Void is pretty cool. It's very similar to Minutes, the circle-growing arcade game that released in early 2015. Or perhaps I should say Minutes is similar to Void, since I think Void released earlier. Anyways, in Void, you control a ball that grows when it eats black dots. The dots stream onto the screen in shmup-like patterns, making it nearly a puzzle game in figuring out how to collect them all. If you hit a white dot, your ball pops to its original size and your multiplier drops down a level. The twist here is that you can also trigger the pop by pressing a button. Now there's a balancing act between collecting, growing, scoring, and trimming down. This is perhaps my favorite game of the bunch. In Runner, I was annoyed to find that the background gets in the way a lot. I love the surrealist, wacky world of the Bit.Trip games. Voxelated frogs diving into rivers in the background, then jumping over the foreground, fit in just fine as a world-building element. They are a real distraction, however, when you're trying to jump, duck, block, and/or kick obstacles that are streaming towards you from the right side of the screen. It's worth noting that the backgrounds chug on the Vita, an extra detractor from the main event that is otherwise a solid rhythm runner. The most fun I had in Runner is with the bonus stages that are purposefully stripped down to look like an Atari game. There's nothing on screen to detract from the precise rhythm platforming gameplay. Here's the rub though. You can't exclusively select the bonus levels, even if you've unlocked them. You have to play through an entire level first. Listen, I'm all for perfect runs and trial and error gameplay. That being said, there should be an option to play the retro levels if you're... Fate is really interesting because it's a side-scrolling shmup on rails. Well, on rail. There's a line that curves from the left side of the screen to the right, and you play as Commander Video, who can only ever be on said rail. Bullets and lasers and enemies are darting at you in typical shmup fashion, but now you don't have full control over your movement. I enjoyed playing Fate, but wish it were either altogether faster or had a button to speed up the scrolling a bit. The last game in the collection, Flux, is a Pong-type game, again. This time around, you're on the right side of the screen. I feel the same way about Flux as I do about Beat. Perhaps a different control scheme would make this game more playable. Overall, the segments in the games are lengthy besides for in Runner, and it's a pain to restart from the beginning if you die. I don't think the precision that a rhythm game demands is conducive to motion controls. The load times in general are lengthier in Vita, not unbearable but not swift either. I may keep the Bit.Trip on my Vita for train rides, but I don't see myself revisiting it on PS4 or PS3. I would much rather play Runner 2. This is Eric from psnstores.com giving the Bit.Trip an imperfect 2.5 out of 5. If you like this or any of our other YouTube videos, subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to support what we do in general, pop on over to patreon.com/psnstores. Your patronage helps keep our podcast 100% ad-free. Thanks for watching, and remember, to tilt may be neato, but to press is divine.